Welcome to the Thames Valley Cancer Alliance Health and Wellbeing series. At the Cancer Alliance, we work with colleagues across the Thames Valley, covering Buckinghamshire, Berkshire, Oxfordshire and parts of Wiltshire. Our sessions are developed and delivered by health and wellbeing professionals from NHS trusts and wider providers across the Thames Valley, who work with people receiving treatment for cancer. Today, I'm joined by Kerry Boocock, Physiotherapist from Buckinghamshire Healthcare Trust, and Kerry's giving the first in a series of workshops on getting started with physical activity. She'll be talking about the different types of exercise, so cardio, strength, flexibility, core and balance, and the benefits that can come from getting started with an exercise plan. These sessions are for you. We want to bring you the information that helps you live with a cancer diagnosis. We hope these sessions are also helpful for friends and family who are supporting someone living with and beyond cancer. If you find this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our channel so that we can bring you the latest in our health and wellbeing series. Kerry, I'll hand over to you. Thank you. If you just give us an introduction and let us know what you're talking about today.
Hello, my name is Kerry Boocock. I'm the Macmillan Oncology Advanced Physiotherapist for Bucks Healthcare Trust. I'm here today to talk to you about how to introduce exercise as a cancer patient. So what we'll be covering in this session is about the benefits of exercise, your body's natural response to exercise and what to expect, mainly about cancer and exercise and how it changes and affects your body and ability to exercise, and a bit about knowing your limits and covering how much exercise to do and what type to do as well. So the general benefits of exercise, and the main ones that you'll think of is the physical benefits. So this is the effect it has on your heart and the strengthening it plays on your heart, about maintaining a healthy weight. It can improve your balance, building your muscle strength, and it can improve your metabolism and in effect improving your appetite as well. It can help improve your blood sugar levels, your bone strength, your lung capacity and your ability to take nice good deep breaths and control of your breath, and improving your sleep as well and giving you a more restful night's sleep. But there's a lot more evidence, particularly recently with lockdown, about the mental benefits of exercise, because when we exercise we release something called endorphins, which is a happy hormone, and this in effect gives us that rush and that sense of achievement, and it makes us always come back to doing exercise and activity as well. And it's shown to have a lot of benefits for anxiety, depression and stress. And this is why it was so important and encouraging people to get out and do some activity just to keep our mental resilience up and positive as well. And it can really help with your thinking and processing skills and your mental arithmetic. But the whole other aspect is the social element of exercise and sport. So a lot of people that do team sports, they like the camaraderie, the social element, the competitiveness as well. And having that sense of purpose and that sense of a team is really good as well. And particularly things like the Euros, the World Cup, the Olympics, it gives us that sense of community as well. So it's a nice little talking point for people, friends and family, and it's that social side of things. But there's lots of other benefits as well. So there's lots of symptoms that exercise can help with, particularly with things like pain, fatigue, and it helps with things like your recovery. So if you're having surgery or recovering from an illness, just doing some activity can help speed that recovery process. And ultimately, it's about your life expectancy. So if you ingrain exercise and activity into your lifestyle, your life expectancy is generally longer and better. So our body's natural response to exercise is broken down into two parts. The first is the short term. So this is what happens there and then when you're exercising. So we naturally do things like sweating, we get quite red or quite flustered, we get an increased heart rate, increased breathing rate, increased body temperature, and also increased metabolism. So this is all your body systems working to meet your muscular demands from the activity. So your heart rate will increase to try and pump that blood around your body quicker, and your breathing rate will increase to try and get as much oxygen into your lungs and around your body as possible. And your body temperature raises as well, because you're burning more energy, and that raises your core body temperature. So the long-term benefits, you won't start to see these until kind of 4 to 6 weeks, but you'll start noticing changes within your body. You'll notice some improved strength and flexibility. It can lower your blood pressure and cholesterol. It can be changes in your body weight as well, and this could either be a reduction of weight from fat, loss of fat over time, or it could be a build-up of weight, a build-up of muscle tissue. Increasing your bone strength and your general fitness as well. So your ability to do your activities may become a little bit easier over time. So this poster is a little bit more specific to cancer patients, and this comes from the Physical Activity Guidelines for Americas, and it's just showing some of the main symptoms that cancer patients have, and how different types of exercise can help with those symptoms. And so you've got things like fatigue, worry, anxiety, sleep issues, and lymphedema as well. And at the bottom you've got that little heart-shaped symbol, which is aerobic exercise, and the little weight symbol, which is resistance exercises. And then the colour code just shows how those type of exercises can help with those symptoms. And we'll go in a bit more detail about aerobic and resistance exercise in a moment. But the current NHS guidelines advise that we do around 150 to 300 minutes of moderate exercise a week, or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous activity a week. And within that, doing about 2 days or sessions of strengthening exercise. So it's quite a wordy little definition, but we'll just break that down and go into a little bit more detail. So when we're thinking about moderate and vigorous activity, it's very individual for everyone, depending on your fitness levels and the activity you used to do, what you currently do. So when you think about moderate activity, this is about raising your heart rate. You will be slightly breathless, but you should still be able to hold a conversation and still be able to talk in a full sentence. If you're doing vigorous activity, you're working a lot harder, your heart rate and breathing rate increases a lot more, and you'd only be able to say 1 or 2 words, answering yes or no questions. So if you're thinking someone who doesn't do activity that often, something is going up and down the stairs might be quite more demanding on them than someone who does regular sport 3 times a week. So it's just finding what's moderate and vigorous for yourself. And strengthening exercise, so this is about it's about working on different muscle groups, such as your legs, your back, your arms, and putting resistance on them to try and build up that muscular strength. So when you start to break down the time frame, so if we look at moderate exercise, the minimum is about 2.5 hours a week. So if we break that down as 30 minutes per day, 5 days a week. And then if you break that down even more, it's 10 minutes 3 times a day. So when you break it down into smaller chunks like that, it seems a lot more achievable. Just little snippets of activity, a few times a day, and you've achieved your half an hour. And if you can break it down into just fitting it into your routine, it's a lot more realistic to stick to as well. And it's thinking about the type of activity you want to do. So for example, moderate activity can be things like walking, riding a bike, and some gardening, going up and down the stairs. Whereas more vigorous activity is things like swimming, running, jogging, playing sports, or possibly aerobics classes as well. But these will all be dependent on your baseline fitness. Thinking about the different types of exercise, so cardiovascular, this is about raising your heart rate getting that blood pumping around your body. So this will be things like your running, Nordic walking, and sports. Strengthening, so this is about using your muscles against some resistance. So this could be with using some dumbbells, therabands, resistance machines, but you can also use your body as a resistance tool as well. Core stability, so our core muscles, they are the main bracing muscles for our trunk, and they're really important for things like our back support and our posture, and it involves your pelvic floor as well. So if you have things like continence issues or erectile issues, core stability exercises are really important, and part of that is pelvic floor exercises as well. So by doing some of these a couple of times a week, you might start noticing some improvements with some of those issues you might be having. Flexibility, so this is about increasing the muscle length or the range of movement that you have at a joint or a certain muscle. So this is about doing lots of stretching and trying to release that tissue and loosen it up and lengthen it. So things like yoga and Pilates, this is particularly for things like gymnastics, and it takes a lot of persistence. So the gymnast will do a lot of stretching over and over again, and it takes quite a long time to improve flexibility. Balance, so this is our stability on our feet, and it's really important if you struggle with things like falls, feeling quite wobbly on your feet. Some balance exercises are really good to do just to try and work on that, and that stability and stableness on your feet. So things like Tai Chi exercises are really good. And then there's lots of little things that you can do at home and around the home to help with balance as well. So in terms of exercising and when you have cancer, it's really important to think about the symptoms that you may have, and exercise can lower these side effects. So things like fatigue, neuropathy, lymphedema, nausea and vomiting, pain, and the exercise can all have a positive effect on these. And it can reduce the amount of time you need to spend in hospital as well. So if you've got surgery that's up and coming, or potential treatment, it's about getting yourself as fit as you possibly can to give you the best chance of recovery at the end of it. Your recovery will be a lot quicker the fitter that you are. And this is a conversation that your oncologist may have with you. They may talk about something called performance status. So this is something that oncologists will look at to see how fit you are in preparation for any surgery or anti-cancer treatment. Because the anti-cancer treatments and surgery, they're very taxing on the body. It's quite aggressive. It can be quite aggressive, quite invasive. So they want you to be, your body to be as well prepared as it can be to take on that treatment. And ultimately then we're looking at improved survival rates and quality of life as well. So when you have cancer, your ability to exercise does change, and this can be either from the cancer itself causing things such as pain, breathlessness or fatigue, or it could be the anti-cancer treatment itself, such as chemo, radiotherapy, immunotherapy or surgery. So it's really important that you discuss any side effects with your oncologist or specialist nurse, have a real good understanding about what's going to be involved, what to expect, because then you're more prepared and it's less of a surprise to you. And then it gives you the ability to set yourself goals as well. So thinking about what you want to achieve, how to set some goals, make them achievable, make them short-term and realistic as well. It's important to try and exercise when you feel that you have the most energy, and I talk about that in the fatigue session as well. And it's just being flexible with your routine. So if you're having a week maybe after treatment where you're just feeling you have no energy at all, or you've got a lot of nausea and vomiting, Don't feel you need to push yourself to do a session that week. Leave it until the next week. Just have a bit more flexibility about your routine. Be patient, and these things don't happen overnight. It does take some consistency and some perseverance, but you will notice some changes after a few weeks of doing some regular activity. Asking for help is just as important as well, and so whether that's you don't know where to start, you lack a bit of motivation, or you just want a family or friend member to help you or go for a walk with you just to give you that social contact as well, and do ask for some help if you need to. Most importantly, exercise should be fun. You're more likely to continue to do it if you're doing something you enjoy. So if you, for example, if you're not a fan of water, then don't do swimming. There's no point trying to force yourself to go swimming if you don't enjoy it. Do things you enjoy, hobbies that you like. So if you're if you love music, then maybe a dance class might be good for you. And just finding something that you like, you're more likely to stick at it. So any movement is better than none at all. Start small, set yourself some achievable goals, and make sure that you reward yourself for your achievements as well. Try and do activities that you enjoy. And exercise can be done anywhere, anytime, and just make it work for you. So a great example of this was Joe Wicks. So his exercise platform absolutely took off. He showed that you can do exercise at home. You don't need equipment. It can be fun, it can be silly, just any movement is great. So it doesn't have to be joining gyms, doing these expensive classes. It can be adapted to whatever you want it to be. So I hope you found that useful, and I hope it's given you some ideas of maybe where to start and the type of activity that you want to do. And there'll be a lot more information on the links if you need.
Thank you very much, Kerry, for the overview on how to get started. We'll include links to the Tai Chi that Kerry has recommended. We'll put this in the description for the video. We'll also include links to the other talks in the series. These are managing fatigue, activity whilst on treatment, and self-progression. Thank you for watching. Please leave your feedback in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the subjects you'd like us to bring you. Also, any questions that we can answer in future sessions. And please let us know if you'd be interested in attending live streamed events and workshops. To find out more about the Thames Valley Cancer Alliance, please visit our website. Details are in the description for this video. You can join our mailing list and also find information on how you can get involved with the work that we do. Thank you again, and we look forward to bringing you the information that you want to see.